The need to maintain automation in cargo clearance possesses a Nigeria's port operating system has been emphasized by industry leaders. The consensus was highlighted during an event marking the retirement of ACG Tili Giado, a pioneering office in customs automation. TVC News senior business correspondent Ifunanya has more.
After 34 years of service, Assistant Controller General of Customs Martina Tili Giado retires amidst high praise. Reflecting on the evolution of the Nigeria Customs Service, ACG Tili Giado retired, highlighted the transformative shift from analog to automated customs processes. She stressed the importance of maintaining compliance with trade guidelines to sustain the advancements.
Today is a different customs. You have the trader zone. You don't need to come to customs to be able to capture your entry. You don't need to come to us to pay monies. You pay into the banks. A single window, and then your job gets to the customs zone. Just for examination and release. You could do that in 48 hours now. Automation is key. I'm looking at a customs in another 10 years where a face-to-face interaction with a clearing agent will not even be necessary. I'm not looking at 48 hours in the next 10 years. I'm looking at a few hours and your cargo is out. That is if you are a compliant trader.
Others at the event echoed similar sentiments, underscoring the critical role of digitalization in port trade and advocating for continuous training of customs officers in the latest trade protocols.
They started scanning till today, and they grew scanning to where it is today. I joined automation when I became a controller. She trained me to be an image analyst. So it's all, 34 years ago was analog. They started automation.
A person like this, were there when things were walking in a way that was slow, things were being delayed, trade was not truly being facilitated, but they were one of those who championed the kind of movement into a digital world where things are now being done in a way that things can be profiled. You're sure of the information and data that you collect.
Meanwhile, Comptroller General of Customs Adewale Adeniyi received accolades for introducing innovative trade facilitation tools that promote automated integration and enhance trade processes. Ifunanya Eze, TVC News, Lagos.
And now, Asian stocks inched higher today as investors grew more confident about a September U.S. rate cut, while the euro grappled with political uncertainty as French elections pointed to a hung parliament. Euro stocks 50 futures and FTSE futures both edged 0.1% higher. French 10-year bond futures dipped 23 ticks, or a modest of 0.21%. Equities were supported by hopes that a U.S. policy easing was getting closer. MSCI's Broadex Index of Asia-Pacific shares of South Japan was up by 0.1% after reaching a two-year top last week. Japan's Nikkei held steady near record highs. Chinese blue chip index eased 0.6%, while bond yield rose as the central bank launched a new money market operations. S&P 500 futures and Nasdaq futures were both nearly flat. Earnings session and season kicks off later this week when Citigroup, JP Morgan and Wells Fargo all report. Now, China's central bank has started conducting temporary bond repurchase agreement or reverse repos to make open market operations more efficient and keep banking system liquidity ample. This move paves the way for a new interest rate corridor, with the 7-day reverse repo rate serving as a central guide, giving the bank more leeway to manage cash condition and interest rates amid hot demand for bonds. The interest rate of the temporary and reverse repos will be 20 basis points below and 50 basis points above the 7-day reverse repurchase operations. That's about 1.6% and 2.3% respectively. The reverse repo operations will allow the central bank to inject cash into the banking system and repos to withdraw funds. Now, the Philippine Statistics Authority says the number of jobless Filipinos has declined to 2.11 million in May 2024 from 2.17 million in May 2023. The PSA data showed that the unemployment rate in May was 4.1%, down from 4.3% in the same month last year. The labor force participation rate stands at 64.8%, which is about 50.97 million Filipinos aged between 15 years and over who were in the labor force. In a separate statement, the National Economic and Development Authority attributed the increase in employment to the expansion in the industry. And just before we wrap it up now, at the top of the hour, we will bring you a special program, of course, that's Business Nigeria. But the Nigerian Shippers Council is responsible for regulating the port industry, promoting trade facilitation, and protecting the interests of shippers. Today on our flagship program, Business Nigeria, will be joined by the Executive Secretary and Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Shippers Council, Mr. Pius Akota, to elaborate on the Council's mandate as a port economic regulator. And that's Business